Where's a water Pokemon when you need one?
Tide's at home with LaBelle, just chilling.
Are they in the same egg group? I'm just wondering. Anyway,
Because I think they just breeded.
Well, they're both boys, so unless
Well,
Edward
that's true.
does something
Our
really
first
weird.
official rapist.
Jesus.
we thought the first victim was going to be Fern, but it's actually Remy's Remy's the actual victim. Remy, show us on the doll. Show us on the doll.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Oh.
I didn't know that's how it worked.
Okay.
Ooh says Tiffany will help. It's okay.
So would that be Remu
Probably.
or Umi? Remu or Umi?
Umi. I like
Umi. I
I
like
do
Umi.
like Umi.
Yeah, he's probably not concerned enough about what he's just done.
Okay. So Lux is going to try making up the Rotom now.
Oh, I say, what happened? Where are we? Rotom says.
Computer, we're getting us out of here. Hey, computer
It's a
lady,
scary
we
place.
got him. Let's go home now.
Oh, yes, great. Oh, Tim, oh my God, are you all right? You can hear. Oh, I'm doing quite fine. I was just. Wait, we're leaving. Why are we leaving?
Hurt. Gestures to self, gestures to team.
Oh, what happened to all of the glitches?
Why did you come in here, Rotim?
I was trying to get some aid in looking for a way to free Miss my missus, but it sounds like she's all right now.
She is. So how did you get captured by those things, those monsters?
Well,
They tried to kill us.
they tried to. Well, they don't know. They've been treated very badly. It's hard for them to communicate. I was eventually able to translate what they were saying, and once they realized that I could speak their language, they asked me to help them find the programmer. They asked me to find the programmer. And I told them that I would, but I had other things I needed to do. I was trying to free the Miss Madison, but they I guess they wanted me to help them sooner, and things just escalated a bit from there, I suppose.
How did you end up in a capsule then?
He says they overpowered me, I guess. I was trying to explain to them that I was willing to help them find this programmer afterwards, but they were getting very impatient. I guess I wasn't very good at diplomatizing a bit at that point.
Yeah, neither were we. Don't feel bad.
It's not their fault,
Feel
though.
super bad.
Miss Madison's all right. Do we have time to help them?
Injured.
I see. Well, I suppose then if that's the case.
But who is the programmer?
That's a good question.
The programmer. The programmer is one that has been creating all of these cities for all of the abandoned Pokemon.
Can you find this programmer without the glitches?
I may be able to track him down. I don't know very much about the programmer or what the programmer's identity is, but I might be able to track the programmer down.
From here, or do you need Madison's help?
With Miss Madison's aid, I'm sure we both can track the programmer down.
So you don't need the glitches.
No, the glitches needed me. You see, they for some reason, they came into this world all wrong. They were constantly in pain. Just their sheer existence was painful. Nobody really befriended them or tried to help them because they couldn't communicate with them, and quite frankly, a lot of people treated them very badly. Nobody really attempted to try to help them at all, and I was trying to, and they thought that perhaps the programmer might be able to create a nice city for them to live in, or I guess heal them, fix them.
Well, we can still try helping them from a distance. We can find this programmer person, but I want to get healed up first.
Very
And
well,
I'm
then.
sure your trainer wants to know you're okay.
She was super
course.
worried.
I was worried about her too. I apologize that I went missing. I thought that maybe I could try to release her from her captivity.
Valiant effort. Pats his arm.
But it looks like my efforts have been futile.
Next time, just make sure you say something before you run off.
Yeah. That scared her a lot.
Noted. I'm usually not used to working with people other than Miss Madison.
I get it. So, now what are we doing, guys? We getting out of here? Do we even know how to get out of here?
Yeah, we head back to those cubes and hit the elevator buttons.
Okay. Bullet, do you
That's
remember
the
where
safe
that
place.
is?
Past
I
a couple
think so,
cities.
yeah.
Past the
Alright.
Steel City. Past Frost City.
Yeah, we know what
Backtrack
cities
the
we
past.
pass by, so as long as we see those, we know we're going in the right direction.
Alright.
Like that death zone.
Well, we don't have to go into the Electric City. We can skirt it.
And you will be able to make your way back to that storage box, which means that Madison will ask if you are ready to be returned back home.
Yes.
Yes.
You says one last thing, and he'll go to the wallpaper and change it one more time before he leaves.
Ew, can I have the apron thingy for a bit? I might need it. I don't need to make the humans more squeamish around me.
Ew holds up the very slimy apron and he says, "Well, they might still be squeamish, honestly, but you can
Yeah,
have it."
but not insanity squeamish. Proceeds to throw over.
Think
And
everyone's
what
ready?
wallpaper did he pick?
He chose the sky one.
Okay, so it's just a bunch of clouds in the sky, but you're not falling. So,
Thank
All right.
goodness.
everyone roll a perception, please. Okay, so this is subtle, so the only person who notices this is Remy, which actually is quite fitting.
Oh,
So-
13 on U's.
Ew,
Sorry.
you will see this too. Ew. You will notice this too. You guys are going to be transported back to the real world. As you guys are being transported, you start seeing these, this mass of ones and zeros. Very similar to the mass of ones and zeros that were leaving the body of Kill Me Now as it died. And it materializes and floats around, and then it moves very fast and hits Remy into his chest as you guys are transporting. And then poof, you guys are back in the real world just as whatever those ones and zeros are smacks into Remy's chest.
But to confirm, only Remy and Ew saw those?
Only Remy and Ew saw that.
Okay.
Ew. Ew immediately panics upon arriving back, and he goes to Rem and he says, pretty friend, are you okay?"
The numbers are attacking.
Well, no one else saw the numbers attacking, right?
Ew
No
did.
one else. Ew did. Only Ew did.
Oh, thank God. Okay, yeah. He's like, shh, no. I'm fine. Nothing happened, right? Ooh, nothing happened, right?
And Ew
You didn't see anything.
pauses. He pauses for a second and he stares at Remy and then, "Yeah, you're right. Nothing happened. I was imagining something."
Can we roll a perception to see if we hear this?
I'm pretty sure we could.
Can we roll an intuition to see if we believe Remy?
Well, so far it's only Remy, you that know anything happened.
That seems like a very odd exchange.
It did.
Yeah.
These injuries will heal. I just need time. Those attacks sucked.
Good.
So a lot of things are happening all at once because
Okay.
so as soon as you appear, Madison is going to cry out, "Oh, Tim! Oh, thank Arceus, you're okay!" And she runs over to Tim and gives him a big squeeze. And Rotim also, his little light electric-looking arms wraps himself around Madison. "You had me worried sick. Oh my God. Oh my Marcius, you had me worried sick." And she's just gonna have fuss over him. Meanwhile, Nevi is going to walk over to look at the condition of the Pokemon, and she's gonna say, "Wow, you guys definitely look like you've been through a lot." And she's looking at Remy in particular, who seems to be the most damaged of everybody. "We got to get you guys some medical attention, stat."
Looks around cautiously at that.
Bullet nods in agreement.
Ooh also nods in agreement.
Yes, we
Finn
are
kind of
quite
like
injured.
kills. Yeah. Finn kind of like kills her tail around herself and like moves away from the others a little bit, shaking slightly, but nods.
Madison is going to continue, taking care of Rotom, and meanwhile, Nevi is going to take you guys to the Pokemon Center. So she's going to, put you guys into Pokeballs so she can put you to the Pokemon Center. Does anyone resist that?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Lex goes in.
I trust her.
Okay. So if nobody's resisting, all of you will end up in Pokeballs. You'll go to the Pokemon Center, and you guys can be healed up. Remy, while you're in this Pokeball,
I knew I should have resisted. No.
while you're in this Pokeball, you can hear voices in your head, and it's like it's hard for you to understand what these voices are saying. They're very robotic, similar to the way that the glitches were speaking, and you feel weird, like you're not completely yourself. It's hard to put your finger on it why you feel really weird. And when the Pokeball comes to the Pokemon Center, so when you guys go through the healing machine, whatever the machine does to heal you guys, you can visually, you know what it's like visually. I can't describe it to you, but you can decide in your own head what it looks like from inside the Pokeball when the machine is activating and you're getting healed. For you, Remy, it feels differently than it has before, and you start to see some weird, everything around you gets all glitchy, like in your vision, digitized glitchy in your vision, and you start to see a pattern forming in the glitches, and everything just gets all sporadic and confusing. It's like there's like a cacophony of different voices all speaking all at once, and you have no idea what anyone is saying. You can't catch a hold of any of whatever conversation that they're saying, and then all of a sudden there's dead silence after all of the cacophony and the chatter, and you start seeing a repeated symbol over and over again. It's the repeated symbol of the Alpha Omega, the Alpha Omega symbol that you've been seeing, and internally in your brain, you somehow know what that symbol means, and for you, the symbol means Team Omni. And we'll go over to the humans. Team Omni.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Help me now. Help me now.
Feels like you should trust your friends or something.
Well, Well, he did. Well, I'll get into it when it comes up. Why they?
One not hide things, hypocrite.
All right. So let's move on to the humans. So we're gonna rewind again because again this is happening in parallel. So you guys just left Madison and Nevi and the Pokemon to do their thing. Kyle is walking with you guys, and he says, "I'm not anticipating that we're going to necessarily run into trouble overseas, but just in case, we need to make sure that all of you are fairly equipped." How much combat experience do each of you have?
None.
Likewise.
At minimum, I'm sure we can provide you with some basic armor that you can wear underneath your casual clothing or your normal clothing. At least bulletproof vests. Again, I'm not anticipating anything, but this is just in case. If we're dealing with the type of people that we've dealt with in the past, better safe than sorry. Has any of you fired a firearm before?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Can't say I have.
I don't know if I have time for a formal firearms training, but I can at least provide you all with some tasers and maybe some pepper spray.
If nothing else, Molly's pretty familiar with bullets. Thank you.
He looks... Kyle actually kind of chuckles a little bit at that. He actually found that a little funny.
Yeah, take that, stoicism.
Chase will pull out his brass knuckles and say, "This is all I need. Thanks for the offer."
Certainly. We will leave in approximately 5 hours from now. So just meet at the... We'll just meet me back at the station, and I will make arrangements for travel. So I'll give you guys 5 hours to do whatever it is you need to prepare. And that could include going back to Prism, making a swing to Prism Labs if Cassie needs to make a swing at Prism Labs for anything.
Stuff that fell off the back of the truck.
Is that the code for it?
Out of character, what?
Anyone want to go to the Pokemart just to see what we can pick up?
Couldn't hurt.
Yeah. Cassie, could I get your help with something? Might be helpful to go to Prism Labs. I don't know if you know many people who are competent with augmentations.
I'm sure I could ask around.
Okay.
May I ask why?
I just have a few that need to be activated, and I can't really do it myself.
All right. I mean, yeah, we could swing by.
Cool.
Noir, you'll end up out with Cassie just outside the Prism Labs facility, and it's a beautiful looking facility. Now, I'm assuming that Cassie is going to have to, if she's bringing someone in, she's going to need a guest pass, and there are going to be specific areas of the lab that she's not going to be allowed to go into because she doesn't have the clearance for it. So unless you want to sneak her in,
She'll play by the rules, at least at this point.
yeah, she can definitely go to your office at your desk and your computer if need be. But anything specific, some of them might be harder for her to gain access to, at least in protocol.
So, do you know anyone who's competent? Where would you go to augmentation field? Is there a section here?
Yeah, what exactly do you mean by that? Could you be more specific?
Well, I mentioned I knew a doctor once. I guess that he experimented on me. He put a few things to make me better at the job he wanted me to do.
And you're sure this is something you want to be tampering with?
I've already tampered with it in the past to deactivate it. I wasn't aware it was on.
And that's the thing. Are you sure you want it back on? I'm sure you made that
After
choice
what
for a
happened,
reason.
I made the choice because I didn't want to have anything to do with that doctor or use anything that belonged to him. But after the fight at the concert hall, I can't just let my own selfishness get in the way of protecting people I care, my family, and things I care about. I'm not going to limit myself that way if I can help it.
All right, well, yeah, I'll ask around, but have you know that might draw a little bit of attention to yourself. Are you okay with that too?
Well, we're gonna be walking around with a police officer, being heavily monitored. Probably because of that. So I think we already have attention on us.
All right, if you say so. So on that note, Hart, would she know anyone who... She at least would have an idea of where to start asking around there?
Yeah, you can. Roll a...
Could I just have done a perception? Because I'm sure she's like seeing, you know, some different projects and different team
Sure.
members that were assigned and whatnot.
Sure.
Okay. $18?
Yeah. You'll know that there is a division that specializes specifically on augmentation.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Would she have access?
I'll
in
say so.
particular to go back to that area, or would
Yeah.
Cassie have to go alone?
She would have access she would have access, yeah.
Okay.
Augmentation is not something that's top secret. I'm sure that they're making advanced augmentation stuff, but I'm sure you can go in with Noir at least to the main area of that division of that department.
Okay, then yeah, Cassie will lead her in.
Okay?
In search, of course, for the particular like team members.
Yeah, you'll find a bunch of team members, and when you'll ask around, like what specifically you're asking them about.
Well, Cassie
augmentation.
was given very vague. I need help with augmentations, so that's really all she can ask too. Like unlocking augmentation kind of thing.
One of the scientists will tell you that they have someone in particular who's very skilled at augmentations that can definitely help with it depending on what it is.
Okay. Would she just be pointed in that direction?
Yeah.
Then they will head that way to find this person.
You head over there and you'll go into this room and you'll see that it says, you know, augmentation, like augmentation research center, and there is somebody in this particular laboratory dressed in a white lab coat with no pants. It is an Electabuzz. It's an Electabuzz dressed in a lab coat, no pants, and glasses. The Electabuzz turns around towards you. Think like almost like Beast from
That's
X-Men.
what I was thinking.
Like Beast in X-Men, but it's an Electabuzz with lab coat but no pants, because I don't think pants would really fit the Electabuzz. So the Electabuzz turns around, like adjusts his glasses, and then he speaks in Pokemon at you.
And was Cassie aware that he was an Electabuzz, or that an Electabuzz was working?
No.
Okay, so she looks rather confused. He glances at Noir, back to Electabuzz, like, sorry, is the doctor out right now, or the scientist, whatever?
He speaks again, and he points at himself, implying that he is the scientist.
Okay. Well, my friend here has some questions for you if you think you could help.
He'll walk over to you.
Very
and
professional-like.
very professional-like, and he's got sort of like an iPad-looking thing with him right now.
Hello, sir. went here to inquire that I had some augmentations that were deactivated, and I want to activate them. Would that be a thing you could do?
He'll type something into his iPad, and then the iPad speaks like a translator, basically. And the iPad speaks, "You wish to have augmentations activated? Yes, I am able to do this for you. But if you are asking for a specific service, I will have to charge you for the trouble."
Cassie's
Okay.
braille perks. She seems impressed.
Would this be enough? And no, we'll say X amount of money.
I mean, how much are you offering?
Like, you could just ask.
Like just like the money that it costs us to get the augmentations in the first place.
Yeah,
how
to
much
get
would
the
that be?
augmentation in the first place? Yeah. I'm wondering how much that would be. Do you have the Mareep?
Because I already subtracted that kind of from my
Yeah, all right. So however
Money as
much
a
that
whole?
is, however much that money that is, he will nod and say, yes, that amount is definitely acceptable.
Cool. The last person I spoke to about deactivating said they were very well done, so it could help your research too.
The Pokemon will then type in and will say, "Indeed, I think that this will definitely help continue with our research. Thank you for this opportunity."
Sorry, excuse me. Did you go to school?
He types in and he says, "Yes, I did go to school. It was very difficult to be accepted. I am an extremely unusual Pokemon, as you can probably see, but there was one university that allowed me to take classes."
Oh, this is it's definitely not what I was expecting. I'm sorry about my rudeness earlier, and she'll offer her hand.
"It is not very common," he says, "but some schools have started allowing Pokemon into their curriculum. But it is not, as I said, it is very unusual for that to happen."
Just out of curiosity, did he accept the handshake?
Oh, sorry. Yes, he will accept the handshake.
Okay.
Yes. But when you take the handshake, you can feel like static electricity shock when you do.
Oh, okay. That seems fair.
Like, ooh, ow, okay.
Right, well, she'll shake and nod, yeah, after getting past the little jump and say, "Well, it's nice to officially meet you then. My name's Cassie, and as I said, this is my friend Noir, and thank you for the help. We really appreciate it."
Nice to meet you, Cassie and Noir. It's very nice to be able to work with you. Prism Labs is a very progressive place. I don't think any other company would actually fully employ a Pokemon in this way.
All right, well, what do you two need to do exactly then?
I'm assuming that for him to do what he needs to do with the augmentation, he's gonna have to put you to sleep, because I think is it a surgical procedure? I think.
I think there's an eye augmentation, and normally with eye surgeries and stuff, you have to be awake for that,
Okay.
just numbed. So.
But there is something it's invasive, right? He can't just open a slot and be like, "Hey," I think he has to do something invasive, correct?
Slightly invasive, I think.
Slightly invasive. So yeah, so
There's a J
He might be able to do more because he has his power over electricity, and if that could stimulate certain things in the brain,
yeah,
could
he
potentially...
could probably do it a little bit faster. We'll say for convenience sake, he can do it within the 5 hours. We'll just say.
Okay, I don't even have to do that dialogue then. Hey.
So, with the amount that you offered, he'll basically take you into the next, I guess, the surgical room, whatever you want to refer to it as, and he'll do the procedure for you.
And while he's doing that, Cassie will just ask, "Hey, while you're busy, do you mind if I look at some of your notes in here?"
He will say, "Are you also interested in researching augmentation?"
Absolutely.
He says, well, he can probably recognize you as another employee. As a fellow employee, we all can decide for ourselves if we want to share some of our findings and research, and I have no reason to not allow you to, as long as you do not spread this information widely to the general public, especially to our competitors.
Yeah, I can do that. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, so yeah, roll a technology education.
Sorry, what?
Roll a technology education.
Okay. $20.
Okay, so I probably should explain to the audience what exactly augmentation in this game is and what it entails. So, this is found in Do Porygon Dream of Mareep book of the Pokemon Tabletop Campaign United. So, cybernetic augmentations, technological augmentations of the body, ranging from brain implants to mechanical prosthetic limbs, are a staple of sci-fi fiction and especially common in the cyberpunk genre or any stories about transhumanism. In many settings, these augmentations may be standard by use of majority or by population. This is all mostly experimental, but some people do publicly have basic augmentations, like very rich people can get augmentations to, for example, improve their eyesight, almost like getting LASIK surgery, but better than LASIK surgery. Human and Pokemon augmentation could be a hotly contested issue and regarded as dangerous and experimental technology. And they basically allow them to, there's one of enhanced sight, there's one for smart vision, there's one for data check, which means that they can interface with the computer directly. That definitely is not available to the public. But things like basic enhanced sight is available, medical nanobots, I think are very experimental, although some people in the military might have access to them, things like that. So apparently, Noir is getting something done to herself, augmentation-wise. So a lot of the things that the Electabuzz's research, whose name is going to be Dr. Lightyear. maybe whoever was his first trainer was a Toy Story fan. Okay, so he's Dr. Lightyear is what they refer to him, ma'am. He has no first name that is his name, Dr. Lightyear. So Dr. Lightyear, his research on augmentation is mostly for humans. There are some studies being done on Pokemon as well, but since Pokemon already have a lot of fantastical abilities, the demand for Pokemon having augmentations is not as large as for humans, who probably could get more use out of it, or potentially get more use out of it. And also because augmentations are supposed to are actually banned when it comes to things competitively, like Pokemon contests or Pokemon gym battles. You're not supposed to have, Pokemon that are enhanced with augmentations during those kind of battles, unless it's purely like if a Pokemon is missing a limb, then they might have a prosthetic, as long as that prosthetic is regulated as to not giving them an advantage over what a normal limb would do, things like that. And I guess through some of your notes, some of his notes, you'll also see that basically you'll see a list of all of the augmentations that appear in the book. So they are all available in Prism Labs. At least it's available to him because he's the one doing all the research on it.
Just want to mention that Nora probably organised the whole Fabian going to Felicity's house. Like she would have started that the moment she found out about it.
Yeah, Felicity will be looking
Sent him off
after
in the
Fabian.
morning.
That'll be fine. So he's gonna be doing that. What is everybody else doing during these 5 hours, if you're doing anything for the next 5 hours?
Well, if combat training is still on the table, Tiffany would take that.
Yes. So Kyle is going to take you to the shooting range because he's probably going to offer you firearm combat training because that's what he knows. And he'll basically give you a standard pistol. I don't know guns very well, so whatever is a good pistol to teach someone, to train someone, that's what he's giving you. And he'll take you to the firing range. He's going to try to teach you, the proper safety. That's the first thing. He'll teach you all of the safety stuff first before you actually shoot stuff, and he'll give you basic things. So basically, you now have the ability to use a handgun.
Yay!
You can use a handgun, and we're going to. I mean, you're not going to be a great, fantastic shot, but at least you'll know enough so that you don't accidentally shoot somebody by accident.
Yeah, that's
always
enough, cool.
which is important.
Yes.
And he will be able to allow you to carry a concealed weapon that you could just put in your purse.
Yeah. With all of her other things.
He'll issue you a permit so that you're allowed to carry around a concealed weapon. You would have this. You will not own this
Obviously.
pistol because once the trip is over, you'll have to give it back. But at least for this mission, you have the ability to defend yourself if necessary to defend yourself.
Did Chase Molly come, or were they off doing something else?
Yeah, Kyle is going to offer this basic combat firearm training to anyone who wants it, who is not Cassie and Noir. If you'd like that training, you can have it, but otherwise, it's up to you.
Wait, sorry. What did you say there? Involving Cassie's name.
I said, well, for Cassie and Noir went to Prism. Cassie and Noir went to Prism Labs.
Yeah.
Which
You guys
means
are
that the
doing
other
your own
three.
stuff.
I thought
Which
you
means-
were saying he wouldn't teach them. And I'm like, what? Why?
He would. It's just you guys already left.
Okay, that's fair. Gotcha.
So he was going to say, since you guys are still here, and if you have nothing else better to do, if you have nothing else that you need to do in the next 5 hours, he's offering to teach you basic firearm training.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you need so.
Tiffany can teach Cassie on the train.
I'm sure Kyle would love that.
Teach him like Clementine style in Walking Dead. Walking Dead Clementine style.
I haven't seen it, Hark. Sorry.
That's fine.
Oh, the first game.
It's a video game. The first game is good. But anyway.
Okay.
Chase won't take the pistol combat offering, but upon kind of listening to Kyle talking to Tiffany and being open to the idea of giving her something, he'll actually cross his arms and he'll look down at his does he have a billy stick? Does Kyle himself have a stick?
I'm sure.
Sorry.
How do I? Wow. Okay, we went. Okay.
Yep.
Jeez.
Innuendo. Let's go.
In uniform, I think he does have a nightstick, is what you call it.
Yeah.
In uniform.
Mm-hmm.
His main weapon, he does have his own personal handgun in addition to that, of course. But I think that during training, he doesn't necessarily have the nightstick on him. But that doesn't mean he can't have access to one. He has access to one, definitely.
Well, it's working on Tiff, so shush.
So I don't know if I should wait till.
Hold the gun like this. So he wraps his arm around.
Exactly.
Hold it like this.
Oh man,
How's like
straighter.
I think realistically he is doing that, but not in a flirtatious
I
way.
know.
It
It's
is a
just
very
funnier in
professional.
my head.
She might take it that way, though.
But she might take it that
Sure.
way.
It's like a
Because
cut scene where it goes into her point of view of
Yeah,
it's all
cutscene.
fuzzy. There's some glow
Little
around the
hearts.
edge.
There's like
Glitter.
saxophone music in the
A
background.
little bit more chibi-ish.
Yes. It's got the saxophone music and everything. Like he smells good. when he's up close, he does smell good. So anyway.
Yeah, I think I mean, a Chase he'll be curious about the Billy Club at some point, but I'm going to leave that for a scene when he actually has it on him. So we'll hold.
Yeah, I mean, he'll probably arm himself when he's. I think actually, well, he's probably going to do this covertly, so I don't think he would have it on him. He'll probably be wearing. He'll probably put on some sort of coat, like trench coat looking thing, just so that it doesn't look like he has it on him, but he probably will have it on him.
Well, he's seen him pull it out at.
He has seen him pull his.
Great,
Yes,
his stick out. Yeah, great.
stick
Okay,
out.
so
Yes, okay.
so he knows because he offered it to him once, and that's sort of what I'm trying to.
He did
play off.
offer him. He did offer it, and he refused. So has he had a change of heart?
I don't know. He's starting to swing in his decisions.
Now that I've gotten to know you a little bit better, you know.
I would like to. No, can't. I'm not going to keep going. I was going to derail this
Really?
pretty fast. I mean, more than we already have.
Yes. Okay.
Molly will actually, she'll hear about the firearm training, and she'll talk to the lieutenant, and she'll say, "So, you would trust an ex-convict with this kind of training?"
He says, honestly, no, but I would trust you.
Molly thinks about it, and she'll say, I don't know about the firearm training, honestly, but I'll take a little hand-to-hand if you're offering that.
Yes, I can teach you a bit of hand-to-hand. I know a bit of judo, actually.
Yeah, it could come in handy.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll have time to teach you some basic hand-to-hand combat and maybe a judo throw. So we'll say that if you want to do something specifically hand-to-hand, you'll get a +1 bonus to that attempt. Same thing for you, Tiffany. If you're trying to use a firearm, you'll get a +1 bonus to the attack roll and damage. So there's attack and damage +1. I don't think that you can get more than that in a basically
1 afternoon.
3-hour training session. That's actually pretty generous for a 3-hour session to get that bonus. So Molly can have that. Anything else?
Tiffany would have tagged along for the hand-to-hand training as well.
Sure.
She doesn't want to be a casualty.
You guys meet Kyle at the station.
I'm just going to say, on the way, Noir would have got something from home, and while there, she would, like on the way to the place, and she would have made up a coffee. And she would, as they're greeting, Kyle should go, a touch of cream, a little bit of cream and a touch of sugar.
Thank you.
Sorry about forgetting.
That is very thoughtful of you. Thank you.
No problem.
So we all ready to go?
I guess.
When you guys arrive at the station, there will be lined up in a row are 6 Staravias, which are flying Pokemon. 6 Staravias, and they actually are dressed in blue with, it looks like police officer hats on their head. I've acquired transportation, he says as he points at the Staravias. 1 for each of you. Flying around with Pokemon is, again, not unusual, so I would like to think all of you probably have flown on some flying Pokemon at some point, so this is not going to, not probably scare you any more than a normal person might be afraid of riding into an airplane. So if any of you think you have that fear, speak now or forever hold your peace, and we can roleplay that. Otherwise, we're just going to fly you guys off to Castelia City. Okay.
Yeah, I think this being the Staravia that it is, Cassie would trust it.
Okay. Is anyone, while you guys are going to be flying together, these Staravias are trained to fly in a, sort of V formation, V-ish formation, because there's 6 of you. You are close enough so that you can converse with each other, if you'd like to converse with each other during this flight. I don't know if you will. But...
Molly will be... Molly will be in a very good mood during the entire flight.
Sorry, did Molly take something for that, or she, is she just
We're all
pleasantly-
pretty high right now.
Sorry, say again?
like we're on cloud 9? Sorry, Molly. Are you just happy because you're flying? Is that? Oh, I see. Because you're a flyer. My bad. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's one reason, but she also talked to a certain doctor recently, so she's in a pretty good mood.
Yeah, I thought that might have been what it was.
Okay.
And I don't think
So things went well with your doctor visit, Molly?
Molly kind of she'll kind of jump at the sound of the question, and she'll say, "Doctor, what do you mean? Dr. Pearl. Yeah, it was great talking to her again."
And future plans to continue talking to her?
Well, sure. I mean, I got another copy of her card, so maybe like that's what, my 5th now. I don't know.
Did you say that you wanted to take her out on a date?
Yeah.
Come on, guys. It was my first time seeing her in a long time. I wasn't ready for that just yet.
Okay. Well, it doesn't have to necessarily be a date. It could just be a group hangout thing. It's not as though you don't have a group now. Gestures around everyone.
Molly will say, "Oh, you guys." In all seriousness, though, it was great to see her.
That's good.
Chase will veer off towards Molly slightly when the formation spreads out a little bit and just sort of gets, just so they have a little bit of privacy.
Yeah, you can have some privacy. Go ahead.
And so he'll shift over and then he'll look at Molly and so he'll say, "You know where we're going, right?"
Whitestone.
So after Whitestone, Molly, what did you steal?
Molly's face hardens at that, and she looks forward.
Chase will fly towards her again, and he'll just sort of tap the bird again. "Molly, what did you steal?"
She'll say, "What's that? I'm sorry. The wind is so loud."
He doesn't want to yell, so he doesn't want other people knowing that he's trying to call her on this stuff at this point. He will cut in front of her bird slightly, and he'll turn around on it. He'll be flying backwards at this point. "What did you steal?"
She looks at him. Her face is still kind of hard, and she'll say, "When we get a private moment and we're not flying on birds, then I'll tell you."
He turns back around, and he veers to the back of the V. Well, I was sort of surprised that it hadn't been said yet, and I was like, well, if anyone's gonna ask her,
that's true. It would be
True.
nose.
I mean, he gave her some space. He tried to let her speak first about it.
Oh,
We are
so
going
Tiffany
somewhere
would
right
be
now
more,
that's a
this
little-
is not my business. If she
Oh,
wants
no,
to
no.
tell me, she tell me.
Notice Cassie keeping entirely to herself that flight.
No.
Tiffany is more good trading. Yeah. We should do that again sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Castelia City is in Unova, and according to Cerebi.net, it is the largest city within the Pokemon world. So it's massive. It has a number of stores, streets, and piers to keep you occupied. It includes the Liberty Pier, It includes a national park, very much like the Central Park in New York City. Tons and tons of sightseers. I mean, it's very busy. It's a very people all over. It's very New York City-like. I would say that it's cleaner than New York City. It's a little bit better kept than New York City. So I wouldn't call this like it's not like a grungy, it's not like Gotham City. It's more like
pizza
Metropolis.
rattatas.
Yeah, it's more like Metropolis in Superman, basically, I would say. It's shaped in a big giant circle, basically. If you play the video game, it's a very nice. I like the design. And when you guys arrive at Castelia City, you have to go through customs. You have to. They're basically going to go to an embassy. This is something that's pretty common. So, like, the red tape that's involved with going from one country to another is not as, I guess, it's relatively quick compared to our standards. So they'll go through all that stuff at the police station where the Staravias land, because there is a station in Castelia City where there are a whole other set of Jennies too. And I think that Kyle will probably give you a briefing at the station when you arrive there. They will be expecting him already because he already made arrangements. And he will explain to you that the individual who was last in possession of the spooky plate is an individual named Wade Fernandez, who is an artist and collector of various things. He has a large estate where he keeps a lot of his collections. It's pretty much a private collection, but sometimes he does invite press or other people to come look at some of the stuff that he's collected over the years. And he basically, Kyle called up Mr. Fernandez, telling him that he wishes to speak to him, and that his life may be in danger or whatever. Trying not to scare him though, or anything. So you guys will make your way to the estate. He lives at the edge of the city, I would say, near the pier. And when you guys get to the front door, he's going to... He'll ring the front door, nobody's answering. He'll ring it again, nobody's answering. And at this point, Kyle's look on his face, he ends up looking a little more concerned. And he'll take out his firearm. And...
Kyle. I'm just going to have a... Before you go through, I'm just going to see if there's anything on the other side. Can I use the infrared vision?
What are you using, I'm sorry?
The enhanced vision. It allows you to
Yes,
see
you
into
may.
the IR spectrum. So I'm just going to see what's there.
Okay.
So her eyes, I think, would slightly glow like a purplish color.
Enabling you to easily pick out a person or Pokemon in camouflage or to identify sources of heat. So I think isn't there X-ray vision that lets you see through objects though? I know there are goggles that are X-ray goggles, and they're different than the thermal goggles. So I don't think you might be able to see through a window, like through curtains and stuff like that.
Just like if there's any like heat.
But not through the door. Yeah, but not through solid objects is what the thing. So you have to go in front of a window.
Something is that, I mean, if there was someone waiting on the other side of a door, I think you could detect the heat of that.
Possibly.
Depending
Okay.
on
I
the door and their
like how that
distance from it,
works.
I'd say.
I can.
I've worked in a company where I'm supposed to simulate AR, so that's possible, but that's kind of hard. But anyway, go ahead. Through a door, it would be hard.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll just do sort detection.
Which
so
means...
if there's any thoughts within 12 meters, 18 meters, sorry.
Do you have to... Is that a automatic success, or do you have to roll for that?
You just know.
Okay.
Like, you don't get to know who's there, but you just know, like, who they are. But
You're not sensing any thoughts other than the people that you're with currently.
Which must be an interesting array of thoughts.
well, you can't sense what the thoughts are. Just like there's thoughts out there. It's kind of like static. It's like, oh, there's some static over there.
Okay.
Like, okay, yep. I don't hear anyone.
That's very disconcerting, Kyle says, because we have an appointment. He's expecting us.
How big is this place again, Hark?
I would say the estate probably covers about roughly 2 acres. Roughly 2 acres of land.
Okay. So Cassie nods and says, well, he might be a busy guy. It's a big place. Maybe he just got sidetracked.
Wouldn't he have staff or something?
He would. Yes, for a place this large, he would. So somebody, even if he's busy, somebody should be answering the door.
Yeah.
The fact that nobody is a little disconcerting. I'm going to break the door down.
Is it locked?
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
Nah,
It is
Double
locked.
checking.
Bullet. No.
It is locked.
Cassie will step back.
If nobody else is doing anything, Kyle is going to proceed to kick the door. He's going to kick at the door. Go ahead.
Yeah, Nora will actually go, how about we do this from a distance? I can use my telekinetics to open the door. So in case there's any traps or anything, if this place has been breached somewhat, they may they may know that he was expecting police.
Be my guest.
Okay.
So way further.
Away further, and she's a decent amount, a few meters away, at least 6, and she'll do like a psychic, telekinetic, like wave of energy and try and break it.
Sure. Roll. Is that actual power, or do I just ask you to roll an intuition or focus for that?
Probably be a focus.
Okay. Roll a focus.
Guessing. Oh,
24.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm like, wow.
With a.
Oh, 66.
Yeah. Do you want to give a visual of what this looks like? You're going to break the door down. Would you like to visually tell us what it looks like?
So basically, she's a few meters away, and then she goes with her hand out, and the door kind of like off the hinges, goes flying inwards.
Okay.
See, this is why you guys are put on curfew.
Kyle will go in first. He will lead the group. He has his gun still out, aimed to the ground though, but he's going to go in. He'll be looking around corners, and he's going to look back towards the rest of you and says, "This is not good."
Oh,
Chase will follow him in for sure with the knuckles out.
Tiffany will go in after, take out gun, train down at floor.
You guys are looking in the dining room right now, around the corner from the foyer. In the dining room, there looks like to be signs of a struggle or a fight. There are broken plates on the ground. It looks like some people were getting ready for breakfast of some sort. Because there's still like pancakes and like some bacon. Some of the syrup is dripping over the floor. Chairs are turned over, and you see blood on the ground. There's blood on the ground.
Is there any psychic residue?
You do not sense any psychic residue other than the one from the door that was destroyed.
Okay.
Any signs of people?
Not yet, but there is the blood seems to be trailing.
Actually, can I roll perception, see if I can hear or see anything?
Sure.
I mean,
Well,
I think same. Like she would
12.
definitely be on alert.
You don't see anything except that there seems to be some sort of... the only thing that catches your eye is a book, Tiffany. It looks like a yearbook that's sitting on the table next to the the bacon and pancakes from a half-eaten plate. Basically, it almost looks like whoever was sitting at that chair was looking through it's a yearbook. It's like a college yearbook.
Oh, she's gonna
And
go
one-
glance at that.
You're going to glance at that, and to your surprise, Tiffany, you see something catch your eye, and it's open to a note. Like, there's a bunch of notes that people write on the yearbooks. But one thing in the corner that particularly catches your eye, and it's written in green ink, really beautiful green ink. And the reason it catches your eye is because you recognize that penmanship, that handwriting. And it's basically a note written to Wade, you're assuming back from college. And the way that the person's writing it, it looks like that they are at least dating, or maybe more than dating. And it's signed Emerald, whatever your mom's maiden name was.
Oh.
Whatever your mom's maiden was. Emerald, whatever.
Okay. Would Tiffany know her mom knew this person?
I don't think well, roll me a d20. Roll me a d20.
A moment as I move things around. Because I closed that page down. 15?
15? I don't think she honestly would have mentioned anything about Wade.
Okay.
I don't think she would have said anything. But it does look like her handwriting. What would you say is your mom's maiden name? Just out of curiosity, would you say?
Sad thing is I actually had one at one point. Emerald Clove.
Emerald Clove? Sure. So that catches your eye a little bit, which is interesting. Not sure if that'll distract you from the blood on the floor, but it's there.
Oh, definitely filed away. Like, I have questions to ask, I guess.
Yeah, is that the only bit of blood that's present in the room?
Yeah,
In that room, yes. It's
Chase?
trailing off into the kitchen.
yeah.
Okay.
Chase will be following the trail of blood. I can use survival if you need. I'm trying to find out if it's where it's going, and is it just one person? One person's blood being dragged, or is it dripping?
I think it would be hard for you to determine if it's just one person or not. It looks like it's most likely just one person.
Could Nor listen out for thoughts again?
With Cassie having scored higher perception, did she see anything as well?
Nothing else except for what I pointed out in the yearbook. That's the only other thing that's obvious in the room that would.
And Emerald
catch
wouldn't
your
have meant anything to her.
Well, she has told you her mom's name. The fact that Tiffany is like just staring
you
at it
remember
now.
Oh, yeah, okay, now, yes. But more preoccupied with the blood and stuff.
True, yeah.
Anyone who's following Kyle, the blood trail leads into the kitchen. And in the kitchen, you do see two bodies on the ground. They appear to be staff. One appears to be the cook. The cook seems to have a bloody hand holding on to what it looks like a knife. You can probably determine the cook maybe was trying to defend herself in some way, but did not. Their navels, their bellies have been split open, as if maybe animal, maybe some person with a really sharp blade of some sort sliced through their bellies, and actually some of their innards is actually gushing out.
Do they look dead or alive still?
They're very dead.
Okay.
They're very dead. They're quite dead.
Well, depending on how long this happened to go. Damn it.
Could I-
Molly will turn away at that. She's feeling a bit queasy upon seeing that.
Could I roll a combat to see how long ago this would have been done?
That would be more like a medicine, I think.
Could I do that as well?
Could
You may.
Cool.
I do a combat then to see what
16.
killed them?
Sure. 16?
Okay.
Tiffany, you're good at medicine anyway, so the approximate time of death was this morning, which would make sense because of the breakfast on the table. So that confirms that this happened in the morning.
Okay. What time is it now, out of curiosity?
This would have been later, like late afternoon going into the
Okay.
evening. I would say around 4 o'clock. I think the appointment was at like 4
Okay.
o'clock.
Well, for what's worth, looks like happened this morning. But
Kyle curses and says,
Sorry.
If we left earlier, we might have been able to get here before this happened.
sorry.
Well, we can't change the past.
Now let's keep checking the place out. I mean, maybe there's someone still alive.
Yeah.
Chase will go for the knife in the hand,
I'll
the
see.
cook's hand. He looks at Kyle first because he's going to pick it up, but he just wants to make sure, like, I'm going to be touching this evidence.
He says, you shouldn't. We need to get a forensics team in here to find out who did this.
So he picks up the knife.
No, there might be evidence on that. He could have cut the assailant. If you touched that,
He picks up the knife and then he matches the blade up to the belly side just to see if the blade matches like the cut that happened on the stomach.
Roll a perception. Or medicine, whichever is higher for you.
Medicine. All right.
Medicine's higher?
Perception it is.
Okay.
Actually, seeing what he's doing, could I try figuring out it?
You may. Medicine or perception.
I was going to use that
whatever's
exact
18.
phrase.
higher. No, it doesn't look like that knife. That knife would not have been large enough to do that amount of damage.
Okay, so at least that
It would
wasn't the
have not have
murder
been-
weapon.
It wouldn't have been that clean of a cut.
Actually, I'd like to roll a Pokemon roll, see if there's any Pokemon that would match this.
Sure.
11.
Some Pokemon that had very sharp claws,
Okay.
like a Sandshrew, for example, is a good example.
Okay.
Or Sand Slash.
There's some Pokemon that'd
Maybe.
be capable of it.
It's possible. That is possible.
So this person was a collector, right?
Yes.
Was it just a collector of the arts?
Arts, artifacts, I'm sure. I'm not really I'm not very knowledgeable of his collection.
Nothing
But-
to do with Pokemon?
Well, he has a spooky plate.
would he have a safe somewhere? If he was attacked, he might have went to the most secure place in the building. He may have reinforced.
I'd assume.
Um,
I've never been here. I've never met the man. I've never been here before. I only know who he is because of our research on the plates.
And Hark, I assume there wouldn't be any footprints, whether of syrup or blood or
Yeah.
anything like that.
Roll a perception.
I will, gladly so.
10?
And 15.